Hello, everybody. Everybody who's a fan of craft alcohol in the state of Maine. Welcome to another virtual tour presented by the Maine Brew Bus. My name is Don Littlefield, and I am once again your host, your guide on this exploration of what's happening in various industries around the state. Today we'll be joined by Matt Moran. Matt is a co-founder of Nosh Kitchen Bar here in Portland. Nosh is just about ready to reopen. So we're going to talk to Maddie about some of the different decisions that went in at different times as they first decided to do some service, then realized it was better to not do that, and why they're coming back now. We'll also find out a little bit about Matt's project in South Portland. He has a small neighborhood joint under construction as far as we know. So hopefully we'll get a little update from Matt on that. As always, we're sponsored by carhopme.com, in which you can get beer, wine, spirits, and a lot of different things, even snacks, delivered to your home through their website. You schedule a time that makes sense for you at carhopme.com. Use promo code BREWBUS to save 50% off the delivery fee, and you'll see that you can just select by brand, by style, by location. You can have them go around and do a bunch of shopping for you if you'd like. And watch it on the weekends. They often will have some certain pairings, so maybe different breweries that are located together, or a brewery and a winery, or a brewery and a distillery. You'll see that they'll have promo codes where you can have them go and get two stops worth of material of product that is delivered for just one fee. So look for that at carhopme.com, and on their social media, it's Carhop, locally owned and operated alcohol delivery service. carhopme.com. So, we want to say hi to a bunch of people before Maddie joins us. Hello to Trout River Brewery. They're huge Nosh fans, as we are of your legendary brewery as well in Vermont. Say hi to Draft 207. Slab Portland, which is obviously very affiliated with Nosh. They're on board here. Sandy B60 says, we've missed you, Nosh. Phoebe from Vacationland. Mary Chick, my sister. Hello to my sister. Mr. Greg Klein is joined, obviously. Greg is often behind the scenes, and he is producing today. So he will collect all of your questions, your comments, your love notes, put them right down there in the bottom of the screen, and Greg will send those to me separately. And we'll ask Matt any questions that you have, and we'll certainly share any thoughts that you have about what Nosh means to you, and about some of their different products, and what you're most looking for to return once they're back. So, I told Matt to give me a couple of minutes to get going, and Matt, I'm ready anytime you are. We'll say hi also to T. Bojangles, Maine's Pantry down on Commercial Street, and available at mainspantry.com. You can get Maine products shipped to your home, so that's another great option. Slab Portland is reporting it is Big J watching, and so hello to Jay. Jason, who is a person who is well food scene, and a person behind several of these great restaurants. We're connecting now with Matt Moran. And just like that, it works.
What's happening, guys?
Hello. Not much. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
You were sending me a message a little while ago, like, I don't see you. And I'm like, yeah, we haven't started yet. We'll get there at the top of the hour.
This isn't my strong suit, this social media stuff. It's not my forte, let's say.
Well, you were put up to it because I had messaged with Jay originally. I said, Jay, I want to get your perspective as an owner of different restaurants around the state. And he says, no, I don't want to do that. But Maddie does. So you
unusual for him.
Well,
hey,
this
Jay,
is
you're probably watching with Emily.
He is definitely watching. He's already said hi. So thank you for that. So this is Matt Moran of Nosh Kitchen Bar. I'm sure you've all been to Nosh, but it's right on Congress Street. It is a place that is revered for a great beer selection, great alcohol, cocktail selection, as well as food that is inventive, creative, and sometimes just a little bit over the top. But is really fun to visit as well. So welcome. I see you're enjoying something. What are you enjoying in your glass?
I thought it was pretty pertinent today, and I'm not going to try to switch the camera around, but I'll hold it here. So I've got Band Together, which we all need to do right now. It's Banded Horn Viridian. So,
fantastic.
Or Banded Viridian, not Banded Horn anymore. Just Banded.
Just Banded.
So.
Well, I'm sort of on the same track here. So what I've chosen is All Together beer. This one happens to be the Orono Brewing version. So I know Bandit has participated in this collection of different breweries around the world that are brewing beer to help support hospitality workers who are affected. So I'll have a treat along with you.
Enjoy. This
All
is,
right.
I miss our Friday nights with you biking down here and me seeing what's in the refrigerator and pulling it out, and kind of you're sort of my guinea pig.
It does happen quite a bit. You're like, hey, have you tried this? And I always say no, even if I have, because I know there might be something coming my way to try. So, cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
All right, Maddie. For those who don't know your personal story and the story of Nosh, try to give us some of the highlights of your journey through hospitality and other pursuits to get to where you're at now at Nosh.
So kind of the backstory to Nosh was I moved back here from Tempe, Arizona in late 99, and began work at the Harrisicid Inn. Great establishment. I owe so much to those folks up there. I had a friend, Lance Meter, who owns Rivalries, who was doing the purchasing up there. He hooked me up with a gentleman who was doing banquets up there, who in turn led to me bartending in the Broad Arrow Tavern, managing, kind of jack of all trades. And through that experience, I met my partner, Jason Loring, who was in the main dining room at the time up there. And we occasionally had a beverage after work. And, we just kind of got to talking. We're working with other people. Jay did a little stint out in Vegas. And he came back, and I just said, let's start thinking about doing something else. And let's get out of work and drive back into town. Oftentimes we go to Brian Brew, or if we wanted some food, Spago Brewing Company. Kai was fantastic to us to start. He sat down with us and kind of showed us the ropes of late night service, and just stick with it. If there's not a crowd there, just stay with it, and people will come. And we were fortunate. That was absolutely the truth. So we owe a lot to Kai for that. And so we were looking for spaces, and all of a sudden, a gentleman that Jay knew from the past reached out and said, "Hey, I've got a spot that's becoming available," which turned out to be the old White Hart, with our friend Johnny Altoff of the Wizard Lore. So we checked it out, and we knew right off that we weren't going to be just a place that's open until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. It was definitely a late night place. There was a beautiful bar in place. My thoughts of initially a deli went by the wayside when I saw the bar. And, so then we've been all in ever since, till 1 a.m., 7 nights a week. And fortunately, the community was really supportive right from the start. And the hospitality industry was great from the start. The beer world we were kind of established right when the craft beer world was really taking off here. So we kind of grew up with a lot of them. I know Rising Tide, Heather and Nathan opened up right around the same time as us. So it was a really interesting time. So that means you're right up on your 10-year anniversary. We had our 10-year anniversary in January. All right. So we didn't do a big blowout for it. We had a kind of a quiet celebration, I guess. But yeah, all this was kind of coming to light in that time. So tricky times. Definitely tricky times, but another good reason to support a decade in business, support Nosh. So is this the first time that you were, an owner, a partner, and in charge of a restaurant? It sounds it. So I was, a shift manager at the Broad Arrow Tavern in Freeport at the Harrisicid Inn, and then I came on board as a manager down at Rivalries and I was down there with Lance and Amy for about 8 years. I was kind of the night shift guy. That was always my nature. I was a late night kind of person, and saved me a lot of money being behind the bar instead of on the other side of it. So it was good. It allowed me to golf a ton, snowboard, whatever. So it fit in perfectly, and I met a ton of amazing people. Some staff members that I brought here came from Rivalries, or I met down at Rivalries. Just tons of connections throughout the world, which has been amazing. Well, you're a connections person, and a lot of folks are here to watch and to hear you. So we want to say hi to Ferment Apparel. So our friend Jared,
Luigi Del Conte Sauces is here. Draft 207 is here. Chef De Burka as well. So a lot of folks that are here. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or just want to wax poetic about your favorite Nosh dishes, feel free to do so right in the comments. And we'll ask Matt, or we'll provide that information for your thoughts about Nosh. So how do you describe Nosh to people that if you're traveling, you're like, I have this little restaurant in Portland. How do you describe it?
If you go by our website, kind of like urban eatery, which definitely fits in. I mean, the section of Congress Street that we're on, the Arts District, has also we've grown with that. When we opened up next door, Emelitza, like one of the most underrated restaurants, I think, in the state. Yeah. Some of the most wonderful people. They were welcoming into us. Steve and Michelle next door at 555. Sad to see them go. They were amazing to us when we started. So it was those were the two cornerstones when we got here. And then we opened up, and then in turn we opened Taco Escobar, which we later sold. But this stretch of Congress Street has grown up so much. And then the State Theater opened soon after we did. Otto's, Port City Music Hall has grown with us. So, okay. It's definitely in the summertime, most summers anyway, a high traffic area, and some great people watching here. So it's, so I would definitely say it's an urban eatery with some classic deli style sandwiches that we put our own twist on. And then, the man versus food thing kind of changed the game for us a little bit.
And that was early on too. So let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 6 months in, and we got a call, and somebody said, "Hey, we're interested in having you on a show." They didn't give us any background into what it was, and we're like, "All right, yeah, that's great. Any publicity is amazing."
Sure.
And so it turns out it was Man versus Food. Adam had been in here, unbeknownst to us, at some point, and really liked the menu, just kind of liked the vibe of what we were doing, and so we ended up on an episode really early on. And our menu when we first opened up was, we had a ton of charcuterie. We were, our lunch was, I think it was 11:30 or 11 to 2, and then we had a break from 2 to 4, and we did dinner. And the charcuterie side of things, we had, or kind of like small plates, we had 8 cheeses to choose from, 8 seafood options, meats, veggies, all kinds of stuff. So it's a vastly different menu. And as we got gradually busier from Man versus Food publicity, it just didn't make sense for us to do that. The service was too slow. So it it definitely geared towards more burgers and fries, which is fine. It's great. Yeah. People enjoyed it. It was comfort food. And there's a lot of places in town doing amazing things with meat and cheeses. So we kind of left that to them and kind of did more fast casual.
Yeah, you still get a little taste of the deli side of it, though. There's occasion you'll get a really nice ham or a nice deli product, but it's not going to be served. It's not like we're talking pastrami on marble rye with regular mustard. We're not talking that. There's always twists. There's always a Nosh twist.
Yeah, right now I think we're doing again, we're planning on opening tomorrow night, and we'll come back with Big Belly Reubens and some of the classics. We're obviously going to kind of adjust the menu as we go, see what people are looking for. One thing Jay and I have talked about with Ricky, who's been amazing for us. He's our chef back there, and he's banging out prep as we speak. We're probably going to gear some more stuff towards family style, larger. I mean, it's weird to say larger portions from Nosh, but it's more family size portions from Nosh. And just let people enjoy it that way.
Yeah, you're not the only ones to say that. I've been on a million webinars, including some with the restaurant hospitality folks, and they're saying that's what's happening. It's comfort food. It's larger portions. If you're a place that's never made pizza before, you're probably making pizza now. If you've never done a lot of burgers, you're doing more. And the theory is, I imagine the theory, and correct me if I'm wrong, if it's already a challenge to order the food, get there, and get it connected, then you're probably better off by getting just a little bit more and maybe have some leftovers or take care of your whole family. Is that the thought?
Yeah, I really it is. It's, if you're ordering for a whole family of 4, if you're ordering burgers and stuff like that, it's great and it's social. But if you can all just kind of enjoy the same thing and kind of, dish it out from there, And I don't know what that's going to look like for us yet. I've seen Christian up at the Garrison has completely switched gears and done amazing with it. I see Chris down at Central is switching gears, and Damien and Ilma. Everybody's been forced to adapt, and it's great. It's not what we signed up for originally, but everybody's making the best of it, and everybody's been really, really supportive to each other. So that's great.
That is great. We talked with Jay Villani yesterday, and his 3 places are doing 3 different types of service. One's doing groceries, one's doing delivery. They're doing the delivery, another is doing delivery through a third party. So it's an adaptation and definitely an effort to connect to your customers, your guests in a completely different way. Let's rewind the tape a little bit here in terms of Nosh made some early changes to try to adapt, and then made a decision that it was better to close. So what were some of those early pivots, changes, and why was it easier or better to close?
When we kind of first were dealing with this whole situation, we knew that life was changed for everybody. And so we just said, all right, we're going to go with the curbside. We did that, and it was honestly working really well. But we got to a point where our staff members were kind of chatting with each other, and they weren't sure how it was so early on, nobody had any true information yet. And it was a scary time for all of us. And they were working because they love the company. They still love the company. Those people are coming back. And they didn't want to leave us high and dry. Yeah. So we kind of took that decision out of their hands and said, hey, listen, if you guys don't feel safe, we're not going to stay open and make you come to work. We're going to listen to you, and we'll shut down, because it just made the most sense. I don't want to be that guy that's saying, hey, money above everything, we're going to make you come into work and not feel safe. And we've stayed in touch with everybody over this whole 6 weeks now at this point. And just seeing how people's families are doing, how they're feeling mentally, and just make sure they feel safe. And if they thought about coming back to work, and by and large, people have wanted to get busy. And the unemployment thing's tough to deal with, because there is a lot of money out there to grab. And like I said, we're just going to bring people back as it makes sense for us and for them. There's some people that still aren't sure how they feel about it, and are gathering information. So, we're going to let people do that on their own, figure that out on their own, and go from there. We've taken the same approach at Slab that Emily and Chris and Brock, Steven, it's basically been a 4-person crew down there, and Jay's been doing the curbside with them down there. So we've been running bare bones, and it's been, as good as it can. So we're just going to continue to roll like that. And same thing, we added Lauren in the kitchen today. And we're going to bring people back as we can, and as business dictates, as we ramp up to unknown capacity as of June 1st.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a factor, like you said. There's some financial incentive through the unemployment offers to not work, but the passionate people, the people that you hired for their passion in the first place, are the ones that are going to want to return to work and to do good things for you and for the company. So, it sort of helps, because you have to ramp up too. You have no idea what tomorrow's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing, kind of the underlying message that everybody's been dealing with here is, how's the PPP really going to work? And I think that's a big question mark. Everybody we've spoken to in the industry, and it's been a lot of people, everybody's approaching it differently. How do you spend that money? How do you know what's going to be forgiven? Because there's no true guidelines yet as to what's going to be forgiven. They say, if you follow this, it may be forgiven. It doesn't say it will be forgiven. So, that's a scary thing. Some of the numbers that people have borrowed are frighteningly large. So.
Yeah, they are. They're six figures, and that's an awful lot. We're talking with Matt Moran of Nosh Kitchen Bar in Portland. This is a virtual tour sponsored by the Maine Brew Bus, or presented by the Maine Brew Bus. This is the 22nd edition we've done, which is pretty crazy. And you can put your comments and questions down on the screen, on the comments, and we'll pass them on to Matt. So we've got a few folks saying hi. Chef DeBurka, Patrick Burke, head chef in Cork, Ireland. I don't know if you know him or not.
I don't, but I would love to meet him.
O'Sullivan's Bar Douglas, head chef. So we say hi, Sláinte. Tribe Calls Wiz says, Ricky, my man. Maine Vagabond, the mobile coffee truck, Jeff Grundy says, "Hey guys." I see my sister-in-law, Linda, and I see a comment here that it's great to see Nosh back on track. Good luck, guys. And that's from Chef WRX Eddie. WRX Eddie.
Appreciate all the thoughts, guys. And if I get to Cork, I will absolutely visit. Or I should say, if I get back to Cork, we flew in there. It's creeping up on 2 years ago now. So
yeah. I started the month of March in Ireland, so this is that ended quickly, or abruptly, I should say. So I want to ask a question about your beer buying prowess. So you're the beer buyer at Nosh, and you buy in things, and sometimes the public doesn't see them for weeks, months, or years. So what is your thought process when ordering in beer for Nosh?
I'm not sure if there's a process. I honestly, most of the time, I mean, I can't say enough great things about our vendors and our brewery partners. I wish I could line up all the beers right now and have one of them, which I guess I could, but I'd fall down.
Yeah.
But, there's so many great things out there. I love to support the local guys. I love to support the national guys because, they were some of these, Sierra Nevada, New Belgium, some of these guys have been at it for years. They sort of get lost in the shuffle now because they're kind of the big guy. But I just don't like to miss out on things that I love. So if it's something, a stout or a sour, I'm a sucker for barley wines. Something I can stick in the basement for a while. I will absolutely stick in the basement for a while, and sometimes I might forget about it for a little while.
How big is that basement? Because you've told me about some of the stuff that you just sit on, and do you have a lot of space?
It's not huge.
Okay.
There's probably there's probably 10 or 12 kegs down there at a time.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's generally stouts. Literally and figuratively, I'm a stout guy.
Yeah.
So I enjoy those most of the time at room temperature or slightly chilled, and so that's what I am a sucker because all the guys and girls selling me beers know that I'm a stout guy. So
Phoebe from Vacation Land was dying to find out what your thought process is because she doesn't get it.
Well, she knows what I drink and buy, so
yeah,
I think she knows the process.
We have a question from Boston, from Kelly Casa, Kelly Lynn Kay. She says, in Boston, restaurants are allowed to sell beer and wine. Is Portland allowing that too? The answer is yes, allowed, but what is Nosh's plan with that going forward?
So prior to closing, we were selling beer and wine to go, single beers, 4-packs, whatever you wanted to do. We do have a provision to do growlers now, which we probably won't do it this weekend because we're not equipped quite yet. Alex Stevens from Maine Line Cleaning is getting some proper tubing and everything, so we don't waste beer. And we actually had the lines cleaned last week. Just about a week ago. So we're good to go there. We want to make sure that our brewery partners' beer tastes the way it's supposed to taste. That people aren't getting it home and they're like, "Oh man, this tastes something's off." Because after not pouring beers off the lines for 6 weeks, that could very well be the case.
Sure could.
So we want to do it properly and make sure everybody gets the best experience they can. We still have plenty of packaged beer to go, and we were in a good position that we do go through a lot of beer. So even the real hoppy stuff, it was real fresh when it got here. So the shelf life's still great, and this Bandit was here before we closed, and it tastes amazing as ever. So that's great. It's
something to be said for the quality of beer that's made these days anyway. A couple of comments I want to point out. This one, K. Ray Moran says, "Hi, Dad." I think that's Christina, no?
That's Christina and Kier. I love you, Kier.
Yeah,
he was in the picture, and I love you, Christina.
Awesome, very nice.
He was in the picture to kind of promote this, and he's logged a few hours in here himself. So
I asked permission to use that photo because it turns out Matt doesn't have a lot of high quality photos taken of him. A lot of low quality photos taken of him. And that one was by Active Beer Geek Ben Moore, and so I said, "Matt, I want to use this picture, but your son's in it. Is that okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's fine."
Yeah, I think I shared with you a couple of years ago a picture of him holding a Maine Beer Bus sign when his head was kind of taking up the whole screen. But that was actually, that picture that Ben took was from a great event we did with Geegan Brothers, and he and Andy were having a dance off right before that. So it was a fun night.
Kier, thanks for letting me use your image as well. Let's see. I saw some other folks here. FitzMe76, Braid Danlin. I apologize if I'm butchering this. B. Strees says, "Oh hi." B. Strees is a state licensed medical marijuana caregiver. So there you go.
Mikey B for all your medical needs.
Yeah, Mikey B, long-time employee there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. So let's talk about what's going to happen. So tomorrow at 4 p.m., Nosh is going to reopen. How do people find out what's available, and how do they order it? How do they pick it up?
So we have the updated website now, noshkitchenbar.com, and all of the current offerings are on there. We're also doing delivery with 2 Dine-In.
Okay.
They've been amazing, and they've been amazingly busy. So,
yeah.
Wait times could be a little longer, but we strongly encourage you to use them. They're a local company, so we choose to use them over some of the national carriers.
Yep.
You can also reach us here at 553-2227. Keep trying. I know it's Slab. People hit a busy signal, and it can happen for a little while. And we hope to be busy, so just stick with it. And next week this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, just going to be the phone line. Next week we hope to add online ordering, and hopefully it'll increase people's chances to get in and get some food.
Perfect. We'll put that number in the comments as well. I think you said 207-553-2227.
Yeah,
I got it right. How's that? So that's how you access it this week, and updated menu is available at noshkitchenbar.com. What are you most excited about for when people are able to get out and move about and come to your place? What are you most excited about?
Just seeing people enjoying themselves again, being in groups, having a beer together. Honestly, when this is all said and done, and when we get the go ahead, I've talked to people from breweries and other restaurants and stuff, and there's gonna be a big party going on for a little while, just to kind of celebrate being released back into the wild.
That's what it feels like, right?
So and that's really it. Just seeing people carry out their everyday normal lives. I know there's going to be a new normal, and some people are going to take some time to adjust back to it. But it's it's really important that we again just all stick together, keep each other as safe as possible, and that's our goal here at Slab and Nosh is that we want to open, we want to do it safely for our staff and for the people picking up food, for the people delivering food, everybody. It's real important right now, and it's all about supporting each other. Christine and I have ordered food, a couple times a week. Maybe we'll get stuff from some of our spots that we love, and we got to keep each other going because that's what it's going to take right now.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and that's so many people are trying to do so much to support the businesses now that it's going to be a difficult time when we are able to move about, because it's not going to be like everybody's going to flood your doors. I think people are going to kind of wait and see a little bit and see how it shakes out and see where they feel comfortable going to. But to hear restaurateurs talk about they're planning for that. They're thinking of that. I imagine, are removing tables and chairs. I imagine you're creating distancing in a way that you never thought you'd have to do, and eliminating certain things that we took for granted. Like your menus are very well designed, and they're laminated, and you pass them to the guests, and maybe you have to rethink that too. But we definitely ask just for everybody's patience through all this, because it's we're all learning, we're all supporting, and the last thing we want to do is to not do it right, and then all get shut down in August or September or October or through Christmas. Like that would be horrible. So.
Yeah, we'll wait for the state guidelines and the CDC guidelines, and we'll follow those to a T, and that's all we can really do right now.
Yeah. Jeff Grundy asks a good question. Are you planning to do to-go cocktails? Because that was another thing that was made lawful this week.
Yeah.
Have you had time to even explore that yet?
We've talked about it briefly. We really want to kind of, again, it's been talked about throughout the industry and how people are implementing it. I know a lot of people are using mason jars, but then it's the cost of buying the mason jars and how many you're buying. So there's added costs in that, and we don't want to gouge anybody. But if a cocktail prior to this was costing $12 to $14, which kind of seems to be the average, ours weren't quite that high, but if that was the average, and you're adding the cost of the mason jar and you're replenishing that, batching stuff, we got to really mess around with that and see what makes sense and what's legal, honestly, because I don't know, short of shrink wrapping, I don't know what is considered a tamper-proof package.
Right.
So
there's a lot of interpretations right now. I've seen people talking about vacuum sealed bags and things. And one thing I have noticed is the ones that seem to be rolling it out are often doing it where the cocktail will serve two or serve four, two portions for two. So that makes the math come out a little bit better on a mason jar and the pricing and so forth. So.
Some cocktails that serve two might only serve one of another person. So
what are you saying?
Some people drink a little more than others.
Exactly. What are you saying? We're talking with Matt Moran of Nosh Kitchen Bar, who also has a project in the works in South Portland. So may I ask the status of what's happening on Cottage Road?
In the works is I have torn the building apart, and right now it's just kind of sitting there. With everything being unknown, it's hard for me to justify, putting a full-scale build-out together. And I wish I was building it out 100% right now and be ready to go when this was all said and done. But right now I got to focus on, the two operating restaurants. That's first and foremost. There's people currently employed here that depend on this as their livelihoods. So we got to look out for those people first. And then, when that opens, it opens. It's I'm really excited about it. I think it's a great venue for it, and there's definitely a need for it out there. There's it's the former Terracotta space on Cottage Road. Terracotta moved down the road to a beautiful new spot. We've got neighbors across the street. At Ellesmere Barbecue,
very close to Ellesmere, right?
Yeah, and Jeremy and Adam are friends of mine. I've talked a lot about the project with them. And South Portland is kind of uncharted territory. Some Ginger just opened up at Babe's, and unfortunately this hit immediately afterwards. What they had going on there was absolutely phenomenal. She has a great business, and I actually do not know Ginger personally. I know a lot of her staff, and they were all raving about her as a person. Her contractor, Nat, is also my contractor. He built out a slab for us. He's doing my new project. So, everybody to a T says that she's amazing, and she was doing a great business. We stopped in there shortly before all this stuff happened, and we had a great experience. So,
it was on my list to go and visit them, and I have not done that yet, and I do look forward to check it out. So let's try as best you can to take all of this out of it. How would you describe your vision for the new spot in South Portland? What are you hoping to accomplish with that?
Honestly, it might pivot a little bit now after this is all said and done. But the initial goal and vision is just kind of fast casual, family restaurant, a place for people to gather, and just to stop in for a couple beers, whatever. Plan on having a great beer selection and
shocker,
just comfort food. It's we might have a few curveballs out there. We'll see how things go. But the plan is to have significant outdoor seating also right on Cottage Road there. Access all those people going to Fort Williams or to Willard Beach.
The theater across the street. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and David's Ineos, they do a great business also. Want to say hi to those guys. They were kind of trendsetters out there. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll stay tuned to that. We'll give them some time to figure all that out. But that is what is in the thought process anyway. Just got a couple minutes left with you, Matt. So do you want to say hi to a few more folks? We want to say hi to Linda Lemaire, Lamara and Max. Hello. That is Zach Poole's mother-in-law. So thanks for your constant support of the Maine Brew Bus. Gene Beck, Nocturnum Draft House, checked in a little while ago. Zach Powell, Dr. Zock, hello.
Zach's summer is going to look awfully different without a lot of Storyland time.
Yeah, that's true. He goes. I feel like he lives there. I don't know if he lives in one of those little houses or what, but
yeah, I think he rents the old lady in the shoes house 2 days a week.
Vacationland John says hi to you, Matt. So the final thoughts are really for you. So how can people best support Nosh? How can they best support Slab and also the hospitality workers that are affected by this? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, just really, obviously I'd love everybody to support Nosh and Slab. Order as much as you can, whatever's comfortable. We don't want people spending, money they don't have on it. If you can spend it,
Yeah.
Support us. It's all about staying open through all this. But we want you to support everybody, spread the love around town. That's what we've been trying to do. And, like I said, we want this. Portland was the number one restaurant town in America last year, and so we'd like to continue that. We want to support everybody. We want everybody to come through this hole, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, we want Portland to have some semblance of what it had before, and we want it to be a desirable place that guests feel safe in coming to, that they feel safe in visiting our great establishments, and we hope that all of them come through all of this, but it's going to take you, it's going to take me, it's going to take everybody to support them. So you can find out more at noshkitchenbar.com or give them a call at 553-2227.
That's it.
Shit, I didn't even write it down. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Facebook page, Instagram. We don't do a lot on Twitter, but someday I'll ask Squadrito about how to do that.
I'm sure he'll tell you. Kelly Casta says she'll definitely be back up when things open back up, and appreciate that, Kelly. I've seen you more than a few times in Portland's places.
Kelly was one of our first customers.
No kidding.
She brought her brother up here. She brought her brother up here, who was moving to Portland for a Smutty Nose beer dinner.
Yep.
Shortly after we opened, and we've adopted Kevin ever since. So
it's fantastic.
Thank you, Kelly, for that.
Kelly's a member of the Boston Area Beer Enthusiasts Society, I guess. Babes.
She is. Yeah, they had an outing here last summer.
Yeah, perfect. And Nomad Tours Quebec. I want to say hi to my friends in Montreal. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Go Fighting Irish says Draft 207. So there's a little nod to Notre Dame. I should ask.
This year.
How's your dad doing? I know that you've been able to visit through Windows. How's he doing?
So people should support Ruskies too, because they're out of his business right now, and that's significant business. If anybody's been to Ruskies, my dad has a drink on the menu for him, the Joe Moran special, which is a limit of two per customer for their own safety.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He's doing well, like the rest of us. He's getting a little stir crazy. I haven't seen him aside from through a window, for about 6 weeks, and my guess is it's going to be honestly probably July 1st. Judging by the kind of opening schedule. He's hanging in there. I bring him patties and beer, and he seems to be pretty happy. Patty's his go-to Irish whiskey that he's known to annihilate a bottle pretty quickly.
For sure. The pride of Cork right there. That's great. Well, I'm glad to hear
he's hanging in there, and he misses everybody. And the Ruskies family has been great to him. Literally, they are family to him. Josh, Monica, Griffin, everybody. They check in on him often. So it's great.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. This has been a virtual tour with Matt Moran of Nosh and of Slab and other businesses as well. This has been a great chance to get caught up with what Nosh is doing. They're reopening tomorrow at 4 p.m. You can find out more on their social media as well as noshkitchenbar.com. If you've enjoyed this conversation with Maddie and the one we're going to have tomorrow with Mike Dixon of the Great Lost Bear, 4 p.m., then you can support Lobster Boy. You can support the Maine Brew Bus at www.themainbrewbus.com. We have the only tours we're doing right now are on the internet, so it makes it pretty simple. They're called virtual tours, and you can, if you are so desire or so interested, you can put a tip in the tip bucket. It's never expected. It's always appreciated, and it's a little bit to keep us going. So that's virtual tours on the mainbrewbus.com. Also, I've seen a few other restaurateurs and business owners that have checked in over the half an hour or so. So we definitely want to talk to our friends. We want to talk to Ken Bell at Portland House of Music, Gene with Nocturnum Draft House. We definitely like to talk to you. Any other business owner that is affected, especially if they really have a lot of focus on craft beer, wine, or spirits, we want to talk to you. So all you have to do is go to that same page, themainbrewbus.com, and virtual tours. There's a little booking request. You basically tell me, hey, I'm available next Wednesday at 4, and you're in like Flynn. Or you're in like Moran, as it's probably better said. Again, Matt, thank you so much. We look forward to supporting Nosh, and we hope that you and your team and your family stay well.
Thank you very much. I just want to, a big thank you to you for being such an ambassador for not only the beer industry, but the restaurant industry, and bringing everybody together. It doesn't go unnoticed. I know that all of us involved know that, but I hope the general public realizes what you do as an ambassador for all of us.
Thank you. That's very nice. You can see more in Cheers for Maine tomorrow night, 7:30 on your NBC affiliates, because that's a brand new episode, and it's all about new and expanding breweries that have been affected by what's going on. So just trying to tell stories, Matt. That's all I'm doing.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Cheers,
thanks.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for this. We'll see everybody soon. Enjoy. Have a nice night. Cheers.